What's up YouTube, this is Hector from Not Too Nerdy and welcome back to another quick tip. This is quick tip number 3 and today I'm going to show you the basic but yet the most best rendering settings for Sony Vegas Pro 12. Now this is the settings that I use. It's pretty good, so let's get straight into this. Now we already completed our video over here. We did all the editing, everything that we need to do. So once we're done, the first step always is to save your work. So make sure you do that. I'm going to save this as intro. Okay, that's my intro video or whatever. So we'll save it like that. Now it's saved because sometimes when you're rendering, it might freeze up or whatever happens. You don't want that to happen. So that's just that, right? Once you're done saving, keep in mind these little shortcuts up here. This is save, this is save as, this is render as, this is property, all that other good stuff. So try to remember your shortcuts. If you can't, it's okay. You could go here the old-fashioned way, go to File, and render as. But before we do render as, we have to highlight the area that we want to render. So say if I only want to render a portion of the video, then that's going to turn into a video by itself. We want to render the whole thing because that's why I edited everything together. So we make sure we highlight from the ending all the way to the beginning. You could minimize it, zoom in by scrolling up and down to make sure that everything's right. But as you can see right here, actually, oops, I forgot to make sure the video is slid all the way to the beginning. So if I did that, what would have happened was there would have been a black area in my video in the beginning. So good thing I caught that. That's why you always want to zoom in to make sure you're fully on the edge. So now let's go back here to highlight from the back all the way to the beginning. The whole area is highlighted. Once you're done with that, then we go to render as here, or you could click here, whichever one you prefer. Now it's going to bring you into the settings for render as. Okay, so it's going to take a second. Now, it's going to give you a whole bunch of things. It should look like this for you. What we're going to go to is WMV is the settings that we're going to do. This is for this basic setup, okay? When we get to more advanced for the next one, I'll show you a different way. But for right now, you look for Windows Media Video V11, all right, which is the format as Windows movie video or media video, sorry. Then you drop the arrow down and we're gonna go to this one. Now you could actually select the settings that you want. You either want 1080p or 720p right here. Okay, so it's either gonna be 720 or 1080. If you want 1080 video, you click this one. You want 720, you click that one. Either way, we're gonna adjust the settings. So what I usually do, a lot of things are 1080p right now. This is my settings, so I click this right here. This is this part right here, but I just renamed this. I'll show you that. Once you're done, you could customize templates. So as soon as you highlight whichever one you want, which is either this one or this one, then you're gonna customize template. Now you're gonna be brought up to a window. This is what it should look like. First, we could actually put down any name that you want and you save it. So that's what it's going to be, okay? So this is the settings right here. So just copy this down right here. Make sure everything looks exactly like this. That's for the audio. Now we're gonna go to video. The most important thing right here is to make sure it's Media Video 9, Custom, and then you could type in 1920 by 1080, or if you're doing 720p, it'll be 1280 by 720. The ratio will be square, so you want 1.000. Make sure it says that. Frame rate is 30. Seconds per keyframe is 5. And video smoothness is 100. It's probably going to be on 90, I believe. So make sure it says 100 there. Okay? The compression buffers per second should be 3. All right? So after that, we go to bitrate. Now here's something that's interesting, okay? Now, I checked off internet LAN. That's what you're supposed to do. Now this right here is right here, if you read right here, it says this kbs per second. We're doing megabits per second. I did 36. Now that's extremely high. The reason why I have so many bits per second is because usually when I do video, HD quality at 1080p is usually at the high 20s, okay? So you could do any number that works for you. Just know that the higher you go, the longer it's going to take to render. Okay, so that's the thing. But if you want the best quality, the higher the bit rate. So usually high 20s is 1080p, low 20s is 720p, and then after that, you could get away with 16 Ms, which is megabits per second, if you want 720p. But I always suggest that if you want good quality, it has to be in the mid 20s. This is pretty much overkill, but you have to understand that when you have a certain bit rate and you upload to YouTube, YouTube then processes your video and it lowers your bit rate even more. So the higher bit rate you have starting out with, then when YouTube gets to it, it won't look as bad when they lower it, because they're going to lower it either way. So your quality is not going to look the same online after YouTube processes it. So just to let you guys know that's why mine is here. You do not have to go this high, but that's how high it was for my video. So that's why I'm trying to go with the quality that I had in my video. I don't want to lose any quality. So that's why I do that. All right. So make sure this looks exactly like this. Then we go to index. There's pretty much nothing here that you have to fill out, but just make sure it looks like this. And project. This is very important. Video rendering quality should be at the best. Okay. And everything else should be like that. And that should be it right there. So make sure you name it, click save. Once you're done saving it, click OK. And then look for that setup. It's right here. But I mean, I already had one here, so it's the same thing. But for you guys, it'll only be one thing named that. And that's it. Once it's highlighted and you have it actually highlighted, the color, then you just click render. Well, you also have to make sure you save the file name right here and the location that you want to save it at. So just remember that. Go back to the setting right here, click render, and it's going to render. Now, it's going to take some time depending on the video. I did a really short video to show you. What happens is the approximate time, it'll keep going up until it finds the time for you, and it'll count down the time, and it's usually pretty accurate. So 30 seconds, this will be done. Oh, it just jumped up to a minute. Watch out now. But anyway, the point is that's what you do for this setting. So in the next video, I'm going to show you guys exactly what to do if you have a GPU that's actually pretty good. Then you don't have to rely on your CPU, because Sony Vegas, all of them, 10, 11, and even 12, they all focus on your CPU. So if you want the rendering to be even faster, then there's a way to switch the settings so that it pulls from the GPU and the CPU at the same time, or mostly just on the GPU and not the CPU. So I'll show you guys that in the next video in quick tip number 4. But for right now, this is quick tip number 3. So as soon as it's done, I'm going to show you guys what the quality looks like after it is finished. Any second now. As you can see, like, it shouldn't have took that long, but since I'm running other programs at the same time, it's probably going to take even longer because the CPU is being used right now. And that's why it's always important, if you want to switch to the GPU, it'll be even quicker in this. Even though this is not too long, but when you have videos that are gigabytes worth and you're trying to render that, yeah, you might want to focus on your GPU and not your CPU. Okay, so it takes a couple seconds and open folder. So when we look at intro now, and there you go. You just made yourself a little movie right there. And that's it. That's all it takes to do. It's real quick and easy. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this quick tip. If you have any questions, make sure you ask that in the comments down below. And stay tuned for quick tip number 4. So this is Hector from Not Too Nerdy. I'm out. See you, YouTube.